So this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and we have before here a picture of Reb Yosef Chaim, the Ben Ish Chai. It's a tremendous, actually, halacha sefer, but we're not here to learn halacha. We're here to learn sod. So it turns out that this man is a tremendous Kabbalist, but not only that, but if you're Ashkenaz like I am, you're reading somebody who has a perspective that's coming from the Orient. But the subject is still the same. He's learning Torah. So we think the words are like pearls or like gems as we begin to see what his Kabbalah is. Now, you know, David HaMelech, he said that, Ani tolea v'lo ish, I'm like a worm and not a person. So over here, he says, there's a specific in this word, which he writes as tola, as a worm. He says actually has a connotation which refers to a tremendous amount of chesed, the chesed of Gevura. Gevura, there are chasadim and Gevura. So to understand really what's going on over here, it's a little bit of background. There is first the concept of the name of 42 letters. Now, part of the concept of praying is to elevate the worlds. The spiritual world is not physical. So first of all, to elevate the physical to the spiritual, and then higher and higher, as high as you can go. And the power of this is contained in a combination of letters. There are 3 different combinations of them. There is a combination that moves between Asiya and Yetzirah, and a combination of 42 letters that comes from Yetzirah into Bria. And then another 42 that brings from Bria into Atzilus. So these 42s, that combination, used with the proper kavanah, can be a tremendous elevation. And this is what he's talking about, which is in the phrase, Ana b'koach gedulas yaminacha tatzir tzarua. Now that phrase that we have between different places where we pray is actually the energy source of the aliyah. But it's up to us to concentrate on it. So here at the Ben Ish Chai, I mean, look, I'm not an expert at the Ben Ish Chai. I'm learning this. So let's look and see what he says over here. We're going to the next paragraph, which is a little bits of the Ben Ish Chai. So there's another reason. Masha Nikra Yisrael al Shem al Talas. Why are the Jewish people called by the name of worms? Kedechsev al Tiri Tolas Yaakov. Don't be afraid of me, worm of Yaakov. I don't know if it's T, I really didn't look it up. I should have. He said, so he says, I'll understand this. The talaz, why are the Jewish people compared to a worm? He says that because the worm has a power in its mouth, in her mouth. Kain Yisrael kol kocham hu bepihem. So the same thing with us. All of our power is in our ability to pray. So therefore, Timse Shekal Haberu Asher Bo Tolui Tikun Olamos. Let's go over the words. So therefore, we find like this, that all the refinements of Kedusha that are stuck in a world like the one in which we're miners here of Kedusha in the lowest possible cave, in the lowest possible pit. Because the refining part, in other words, refine out, that's the wrong word, to mine out the goodness that is contained in this world. Tikkun olamos makes effects a tikkun in all of the lomos that are el yonim, v'hatachtonim hu tolui b'peh. So everything that's, I read it a little badly, so let me read it again. It's all tikkun olamos v'halyonim v'tachtonim, both the upper worlds and the world that we live in. All of the tikkun for those worlds depends on the mouth. The masha nivra be'esa katorah, because what is created as a result. Excuse me, I said it wrong. The masha nivra, what is mined out, be'esa katorah, the goodness that is contained in the Torah, hu b'peh, it's all done with your mouth. So that one of the reasons why the Kabbalists, or some Kabbalists, say that's you need to be able to say out your learning as you're saying, and not just be mental. Now others look at it differently, so I just want to hear what he's saying here. So the same thing is true of what we actually are able to refine out when we eat. Uvishtia. He said, "Who bepeh?" All of this is in the mouth. And also everything that is created as a result of our prayers. So when we eat, we're actually eating with our mouth. And he's saying to me, he's saying, don't eat like you're a ravenous person. Understand there's a kedusha in the food that you eat. The same thing, so everything that is created is a result of the words that we are saying out. Hu bepeh, that's all coming from the mouth. The lakach, karam tolas Yaakov. So that's why we're called the worm of Yaakov. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator Kolo, little bit of the Ben Ish Chai on the Parshas Pinchas.